Hello, hello, my lovelies. Today we're talking about some posts that Britney Spears made confirming her book deal, calling out her sister, calling out her mom. There's a lot to go through, so without any further ado, grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's jump into it. Roll the intro. Welcome back. Now, what are we talking about? Well, Britney Spears decided to make some posts recently on her Instagram, which are now deleted, but I was able to get them, so we're going to read them off on the screen as usual because there's a lot to read. These were big captions dropping some big bombshells. So without any further ado, I'm going to put it up on the screen and I'm going to read it for you. Here's the first post. I used to hate the way my mom thrived on drama. She would literally scream from the rooftops, no lie, all night long arguing with a drunk man who couldn't even talk. Why? That's obviously her dad. I was the one who never got any sleep. It just wasn't right, and it was every night of my life. With that said, traditionally growing up, going to therapy where I come from, she capitalizes it, is looked down on. I mean, my parents, capitalized, never went to therapy. They thrived and lived on drama every day of their effing lives. I was always extremely embarrassed to talk about my personal life and still am to this day. I believe you take it all to God. It's none of anyone's business. That's why forcing me so long to talk in therapy has never been my style, yet at this point, my family has broken me down so much, I do need a little therapy. And I find it just pretty odd in my hardest times, not only my mother, but my sister tell in their books their stories and drama. I don't think it's particularly nice. We are all entitled to our own story, but this drama is one of the devil. I mean, we all like a little gossip, but dear God, I'm posting a pic of a rainbow I seen in Maui yesterday after a storm, which if you don't know, her mom's book was called Through the Storm, and that's likely what she's referencing, because she mentions it not once but twice, along with Things I Should Have Said, as well as Jamie Lynn's book. That's God's promise. God's rainbow outshines the storm indefinitely, and that's the message I want to send to my mother and sister, whose books were what I should have said, and the storm. So when you look at this rainbow, mother, please understand and this only. I am a woman now. I'm not the same type of person to air dirty laundry, but I sure as hell am not going to sit back and be my family's Jesus. I will speak up and blow the effing house down. My family, again, I will say it, took away far too much from me. I'm still not close. I'm still not done. And F you from the bottom of my effing heart. So wow, that's already a big, big post. Like smashing her sister, her mom for basically taking advantage of her and her struggles for their books to sell books. And she's very upset about this, you can tell. And she's saying, I'm not going to take your crap anymore. You can write your books all you want, but the truth is going to come out. You shouldn't have exploited my stuff that was meant only for God. And you know what? Yeah, exactly. They shouldn't have forced her to go to therapy if she didn't want to go to therapy. Like, that's messed up. Now, let's go on to the second post. I want to address my recent post captioning my past. To my understanding, it's confusing. Why express now? Well, I'm writing a book. There she is confirming her book, which go off, Britney. Please write this book. I will put it on pre-order as soon as it goes on pre-order. At the moment, it's actually healing and therapeutic. I'm so sorry. I have a stutter. I'm so sorry. It's also hard bringing up past events in my life I've never been able to express openly. I only imagine that I do sound childish, but I was extremely young when those events took place and addressing it now, which is common. There's a lot of stuff I never addressed as a kid that happened to me, and I'm just addressing it now. That's common when you're in an abusive household and a family that controls you. That's very common because you feel like you're not allowed to express yourself. You have to conform to everyone else's needs, everyone else's thoughts, everyone else's feelings in order just to survive. So you're not going to address things. You're going to keep it pressed down. So I understand that on like a personal level. Because, yeah, I do a lot of stuff that's childish now. I collect dolls. I collect a whole bunch of stuff that is mostly for kids. And I'm glad that, like, that whole stigma around, like, collecting dolls or cards is kind of lessened now. It's more of just, like, a normal hobby now. Like, but yeah. I'm sure it seems irrelevant to most, and I'm completely aware of that. But instead of using my heart, I'm using the intellectual approach, as Justin so respectfully did when he apologized to Janet and me. Although he was not threatened and never bullied by his family, he took the opportunity to apologize 20 years later. Timing is everything. If you don't know the whole situation between Justin and Janet, she's talking about Janet Jackson, who Justin Timberlake famously caused a wardrobe malfunction on stage, and it really ruined Janet Jackson's career afterwards because it showed her whole girl on one of the sides. So, and he did a lot of stuff to Britney that just wasn't right. He did a lot of stuff, including him telling everyone that he took her V card without her knowledge and acting like really smug about it, like, yeah, I did that. Like, I'm sorry. Including using a Britney Spears lookalike in his Cry Me a River music video. Good timing is the B. Anyway, I just wanted to let people know that I care. I'm also so sorry. My mom and sister did the whole intellectual approach, an indulgence, and by writing their books, and I couldn't even get a cup of coffee, drive my car, or anything really. I'm not the type of person to bring up uncomfortable conversations. She capitalizes that. I wonder what she's referring to. Well, because it's not respectful. But come on, let's actually talk about it. Again, capitalizing. So she's probably hinting at something a lot more than that. It was more playful and light approach to everything. It's easy to not take yourself seriously, yet in the business, I will just say it. I was indeed treated less than. Most feel like they are too good to talk about it. And again, let's talk about it. Why do I say this? Because I never felt heard, ever. I was screaming inside, and no matter what I said, I was always looked down on. Again, I will just say it. As I get older, and the head powers in my conservatorship were literally unbelievable. Yes, the security, the management, and mainly my father was never available at all, and it felt like a cult. She's calling them all out in this post. I see now the greed, envy of men, and the damaged power people can do. The abbreviation of not doing something is not just something. It's considered special. Therefore, when someone speaks up and shows their thoughts, feelings, and concerns, telling someone something matters, no matter what it is, it was 100% looked down on. I'm an artist, and I'm totally fine with being like, this all comes full circle, and our children are affected by our approach and what we do daily. Our thoughts, behaviors, actions. Let's be good examples. For example, I was in Louisiana during COVID. I went to Target to pick things up at the store. I live in the sticks, so it was an hour drive. When we finally got there, I was told by a lady and my father that I could not get out of the car. My security got out of the car and I waited. Hundreds of kids and adults going in. I've never felt more like nothing in my whole life. Of course, they say now that they never did that because they forgot. Unfortunately, I don't forget. Which again, this is a thing that I found common in my own experience growing up, is there's a lot of things that I remember that people just don't remember because something doesn't matter to them. Making somebody wait in a car doesn't matter, but this meant something to Britney. She specifically wanted to go in the store, but she was forced to wait, and that affected her. But now these people are like, we don't remember that. So yeah, I understand. And I'm here to remind people what not to do like my family did to me, so we can be better people for the next generation. There's nothing more embarrassing than your 3 childhood friends coming to visit you in Las Vegas, and you're working and performing for them at They go to a spa and I wait for an hour as they get their nails done and get offered champagne. I wasn't allowed to go to the spa, so I had to sit outside and wait. Not only did they never look my way or acknowledge me, show any concern, they drank the whole bottle. I never complained to anyone because it was honestly too embarrassing. My mother would always say, I just don't know the rules. So sorry if I've offended anyone by writing these stories, but it's just that if my sister can legally mention my name in her book over 200 times, she does. Jamie Lynn Spears, I did a whole review on her book. If you want to go check it out in my book reviews playlist or book videos playlist, go check it out. She mentions Britney like over 200 times. So yeah, that's just confirming it. Cry on TV and get a heartfelt "aw" from most. I also have the right to share a couple paragraphs on my Instagram. Anyways, Godspeed, my friends. So that's what Britney said in these 2 posts, and it's loaded with a lot of stuff. She obviously felt less than. She's calling out her sister for crying on TV, for making everything about her, and taking advantage of Britney's situations all throughout her life. Like Jamie Lynn has always done, basically. I mean, why else did she get the job for Zoe 101? And also calling out her mom's, saying, after the storm, because the mom's book is called After the Storm, and Jamie Lynn's book is Things I Should Have Said, which she originally wanted to call I Must Confess, even going as far to use a lyric that is famously in one of Britney's biggest hits. Talk about using your sister's name to a T, Jamie Lynn. But yeah, calling out her management, her father, her sister, everyone. And I'm glad that she's writing a book. I am so glad that Britney is writing a book. I know for me, writing is very therapeutic. I haven't been able to do it in a few years, and I got in trouble for writing. I got in trouble for writing stories, even, or writing in a journal, private thoughts. And I'm sure probably if Britney had kept a journal or a diary, they would have read it too. Probably would have gotten her in trouble for that too. But I understand a lot of what she's saying in these posts. Like how people will forget certain things that happened that actually affected you. And when you bring it up, they're just like, no, I don't remember that, so it didn't happen. Or not being able to do normal things, like have a cup of coffee. I relate a lot to that. It affected her. And why isn't she allowed to say things like this? I know a lot of people are like, well, why are you bringing up old stuff? And because she wasn't allowed to talk about it. And now she's able to, and she's going to air everything out that she's wanted to talk about probably for years. And if doing it on her Instagram is what she wants to do, as well as writing this book, I say go off, queen. Do it, please. I'm here for all of this. I am here for all of this. Britney Spears' music got me through a lot in my childhood. A lot of shit in my childhood. Her song Stronger made me stronger in some of my weaker moments. So I relate to her on not only a personal level, but I understand some of what she's going through. I'm not saying I had a conservatorship, but I had a very, very controlling home family when I got adopted. So, very controlling. But that's something I'm not going to talk about online. I'm just going to say I relate. So, yeah. I feel bad for Britney, but I'm glad that she's writing this book and she's just calling out everyone that's ever done her any wrong. Because I don't even have the strength to do that. God, no. I don't have the strength to do that. So I'm glad she's doing it. So that's what I got for you guys today. What do you think about these posts? Let me know in the comments below. I really want to talk about this. If you feel like it, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by summer, so if you could help me out, I would much appreciate it. I talk about all kinds of things, books, anime, TV shows, pop culture news, pop culture drama, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to, check out my playlists, all that other good junk. Yeah, there's the YouTuber spiel. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a great day. Bye.